You're back with The Nation, and this year's United Future conference could have been held in Peter Dunn's living room or even his bathroom probably. Just 20 people turned up. At a stretch, the ACT Party could have filled a small parish hall with its turnout of just 40 members, which makes you wonder how many paid-up members these political parties really do have. It matters because each party must have 500 members to be eligible for broadcast time and funding. The Electoral Commission asks each party to confirm its membership every year, but bizarrely requires no real proof to back it up. Natasha Smith reports.
Election night, and convention centres and halls all over the country swell with supporters. But when the election euphoria is over, the regular run-of-the-mill party meetings perhaps tell the real story of party membership in New Zealand. Under the Electoral Act, political parties must have at least 500 members. So who's checking whether parties are keeping their numbers up? Is the rule being flouted? We set about finding out, but when we called around our parties asking for membership information, some weren't keen to divulge.
So how many members does the ACT Party have? Do you know what your direct membership is? I mean, do you provide that information? You can't give me that information, so it's too complicated to give a direct membership figure. And how many members does United Future have?
Of the 8 parties in Parliament, ACT, New Zealand First and the Māori Party wouldn't supply us with membership numbers. The National Party says it has close to 30,000 members. The Labour Party claims almost double that, but they couldn't supply us a figure that didn't include union affiliates. The Green Party says it has 4,700 members, the Mana Party 2,500 and United Future 550. Every April, each party secretary must sign a declaration to the Electoral Commission confirming that the party meets the 500-member threshold, but no evidence has to be provided. Jordan Williams is a solicitor who ran the anti-MMP campaign, and he says the 500-member rule is hugely important.
It is a serious offence if a party secretary has sworn a declaration knowing it to be untrue or misleading, that they could face a term of imprisonment up to 3 years. So it's very serious under the law to mislead the Electoral Commission as to whether a party has 500 financial members.
A serious offence that no one seems to be taking very seriously. Jared Hare is responsible for making sure the Mana Party's numbers add up, but he used to be the secretary of the Alliance Party, and when Alliance moved into opposition in 2002, the membership of the party slumped below 500.
The thing is, it would have been very easy for me just to ignore it and not tell the Electoral Commission, and they could have gone on and on and on, and certainly I don't think anything would have happened. There doesn't seem to be any, apart from signing the statutory declaration every so often, there doesn't seem to be any investigation or any evidence required on a regular basis that you do actually meet the threshold.
In the end, Hare did tell the Electoral Commission, which gave the party a grace period to get its membership back up. But he says the rules should have been taken more seriously.
There's a huge cost to administering elections and parties, and not to mention the money given away for broadcasting, millions of dollars. So there is a good argument for saying not just anyone should be able to rock up and say, I'm a party, put me on the ballot and give me some money for broadcasting. 500 members, it's a good measure of are you real? Are you a real national political party?
The rule has particular significance in an election year when the number of members a party has can influence how much broadcast funding that party is allocated. The Electoral Commission is responsible for allocating taxpayer money to political parties. The Commission did provide us with information about the law, but we wanted to ask how much membership numbers affected the funding that each party got, and they refused an on-camera interview. What the Commission did tell us is this. Before the 2011 election, 5 parties supplied the Electoral Commission with membership numbers. The Labour Party said it had nearly 57,000 members, the Māori Party claimed close to 26,000 and the Green Party 4,000. The National Party and the Legalised Cannabis Party asked to keep their numbers confidential, and the rest, including New Zealand First, ACT and United Future, didn't supply anything at all. Despite this, ACT received the same amount of election money as the Māori Party, $163,000. The Māori Party says that wasn't fair.
It shocked us that wasn't factored in as part of the formula. We put a compelling case, we thought. We learned something out of that for next time round.
But if we're expected to believe the Māori Party has 26,000 members, its recent annual hui told a different story.
What you've declared is one of the biggest memberships of all the parties.
Potentially. We've got thousands on the books, but the point I've just made is those memberships have lapsed. And until they become financial membership, then we can't necessarily make that boast.
The Broadcasting Act doesn't define party membership, so I think parties inflate their numbers and include, for example, people whose email addresses or names they've collected rather than the strict financial membership. It could be quite misleading because there's not the strict definition of what a financial member is. It depends on the party to define what a member is, and as you just use the example of the Māori Party, for the purposes of the Broadcasting Act, they obviously defined membership very broadly.
The Green Party says it too could have declared a membership figure in the tens of thousands if it had counted all the people on its supporters database. But it chose to declare its paid-up members. That was 4,000 at the time. The Greens say the system is inconsistent and should change.
When public money is being spent, it's incredibly important that that it's fair across those parties. In terms of fairness and transparency, we think that all the parties should declare the number of members that they have. So at the moment, all you need to do is make a statutory declaration, and so we would certainly support a better system which encouraged checking of those numbers.
So, want to become a party member? Well, each party's requirements are quite different. To join the Māori Party for a 3-year term, you'll be charged $2. The Mana Party is also a 3-year term, and that's $5. The National Party charges $5 annually. For Labour, you'll be charged $6.60 if you're unwaged or $15 if you're earning money. New Zealand First and United Future are both $10. The Green Party is $15 annually and ACT is $20. It's important to note there are well-established reasons for keeping the details of party membership secret.
We've decided as a society that you should be able to join a political party and not be ridiculed or targeted for that. So that's why we don't have public lists out there saying, here are the list of members of the Labour Party. So the question then is, without disclosing the names and addresses, how do you ensure that that there are indeed 500 members?
It might be something like parties supplying a confidential list of their members to the Electoral Commission. It could be some kind of auditing system. In Australia, for example, every year they supply the number of members that they have in an annual statement, so it might be something like that.
I think the Electoral Commission needs some teeth to actually be able to actually take prosecutions, because they can sort of warn you and write you letters, but it's common knowledge that in fact, if at all, if you get punished at all, it might be years down the track, and in the end the police will lose interest. It's not a priority for them, and that's a big problem.
Party membership used to be one of the most important links between the state and civil society, and most political experts agree overall party memberships in New Zealand have declined dramatically. But to what extent? You won't be surprised to find out. Nobody knows.
All right, interesting story. Natasha Smith reporting there now.